The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between our visitors and the Cleveland Browns. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Watson now to throw, and caught by Henry. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The numbers for Hunter Henry from a week ago. 6 catches, 63 yards.
And the competition gets a little bit tougher here because he's got to go against the #1 ranked defense in the NFL against the pass, the latest incarnation of the no-fly zone.
This pass finds its way to Williams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Watson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw again. Watson. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for L.A.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have it. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. James Washington, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted, was it an audible, or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And picked up by the Chargers. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Here's Myers throwing on first down. And the catch made by Walters. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Myers. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. To throw is Myers. To throw on third down. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. First catch so far for the man who led the NFL coming into the weekend. He's got a first down. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Kamara. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 10 carries, 66 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for 37 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in? And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Chargers coming out on the field now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They run with Hunt. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early. We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do give 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now Myers, back to the air on second down. Walters with a grab over the middle. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. So a decent gain, still all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Back to throw. Myers over the middle, complete. That's Walters. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Myers. And he's got Walters. Big catch. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 30 yards there. And, of course, the first down as well. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports.
Watch tight, watch tight. Tight end right, tight end right. We got 4.
Myers now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Myers throwing again on 2nd and 10. Being chased out left. He's going to take off with it. The improv act there, good for 9. And now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped and picked up by the Chargers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's Watson. He finds his man Johnson. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First down Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
This is taken at the 18. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. A big play that time for Cleveland. 53 yards. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes remaining in the first half, 10-7, our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Back to throw. Myers. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And once again, the Browns are back in front. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers have once again taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah. And a loose football, and picked up by the Chargers. And now off to the races, down the right side, and he takes it back to the house. It's a fumble recovery and a Charger touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Complete. It's Johnson. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Second down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. Now Watson finds his target. It's Gates. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there.
From the red zone now, Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. And this one is right through. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. And it's the Cardinals who have the lead as they play the second quarter. The Cards trying to hold on and claim victory. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Tennessee Titans. The Titans trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they've gone to the half, all even at 14 apiece. In the game you're watching, it's Deshaun Watson, who is the star of the first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is
I'm
doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. This quarterback now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Myers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down deep into Charger territory. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Alvin Kamara. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Throwing again is Watson. He's got it to Williams. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, you were backed up into a 2nd and long, but instead of trying to get the yardage back in chunks, he's trying to get it all back at once. And this defense was just lying in wait, and they're there to pick this one off.
On the ground, Kamara. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. That's taken in by Callaway. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision. And receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Last play, they went over 20 yards. This time, they topped 30. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. It's the fullback. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
This one fielded at the 5. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They're looking to turn things around here. They've been shut down in this 3rd quarter, and that was after a good first half offensively.
And you wonder where it all goes, and it feels like it goes away fast because it takes some time to build up good momentum. Great.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On the delay, here's Hunt. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've clawed their way back into this game. First half, they were down pretty big. Now, all of a sudden, we've got a ball game. How have they done it?
First thing is what you just talked about, clawing their way back in. That means they've decided to go ahead and fight this thing out, which is great. The second part is they looked at where the problems were in the first half, figured out how to shore them up, and have now gone to that part of the playbook that is actually working for them. A few adjustments, a few changes, and really good execution.
Now we'll see if that trend can continue. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway, 78 yards, as his guys are able to regain the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead. And
now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Their lead, they have seen it evaporate completely after such a good first half. They've been shut down here in the third quarter.
Searching for answers, trying to figure out what it's going to take to get back to where they were before. The big part of it is that sometimes you don't have to go exotic now. You go back to basics. Being able to run the football, string some things together, some effective passes, try and get a rhythm established again, and try and get back in the lead.
Back in the lead, like you said, back to the basics. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Watson. And that is incomplete.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken at the 18. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Myers. And the catch made by Walters. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by Derwin James. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. A shotgun snap for Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
That's taken on the 25. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And that will come the offense as they take over. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs.
And now a fumble. The ball's out and picked up by the Chargers. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game. But they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down. Watson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. He gets this one to Johnson. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now it's Watson. Complete. It's Henry. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To the air yet again, Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Gates, the intended receiver there, but it's going to be 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Here's Watson. Going to throw again. And caught by Henry. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Here's Watson. And it's complete. Henry. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. Now Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got elements.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now it's Watson. And he completes it to Hunt. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down. Back to throw. First things first here, they got to pick up the first down.
And remember, it is fourth down, so they've got to pick up a completion here. Otherwise, this one's over.
They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And this Browns defense stands tall. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. Running with Kamara. And an alley to run. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Completes it to Norwood. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. Absolutely ideal there. Get a good size play, get out of bounds.
Well, you saw the coaching there. That is taught and it is emphasized. Get out of bounds, understand your situation, as well as just understanding the game.
And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. A fourth quarter score from the Meadowlands. The Jets have taken the lead now over the Dolphins. Sam Darnold, 2 touchdown passes in the W. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 51 yards. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. A big offensive explosion helped leading them.